So, we're going to talk about 5 powerful ways to overcome New Year anxiety and jumpstart your 2025. We all were able to make it into this new year. We were blessed to be here. We are blessed to be able to be alive in 2025. Well, hello, my YouTube family. Welcome again. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. And I have a really good subject to discuss with you today. So, we're going to talk about 5 powerful ways to overcome New Year anxiety and jumpstart your 2025. So, let's get into this. I started feeling in this new year. We are already over 20 days into the new year at the time that this is being recorded. And I don't know about you, but that feeling of, listen, I'm over 50, and what is going on? I'm already into the new year and I haven't reached my goals. It's like, and if you're anything like me, I really need, I thrive in an atmosphere where I have a step by step, or I need to have a blueprint, if you will, of where I'm going and how I'm going to get there. Well, God has given me some very big goals this year, and I feel that it is of God, and I feel that that's the will of God for my life. But what He does is He gives you the end from the beginning. So He'll tell you where you're going to go, but then He doesn't necessarily tell you how you're going to get there, right? So I feel this weight of that sometimes. And here I am, 21 days into the new year, and I felt like I had not gotten to the place where I want to be, where I have come up with 5 things that will help to kick you in gear, if you will. And those things that have seemed to help calm my nerves and my concerns with what, God has given me as far as a directive of what I was going to do. So, if I do look down, I've written those down. So if I look down, that's why. And I just want to make sure that I give you everything that was on my heart to share. So, the first thing that I want to talk about is how important it is to start the year every day, every morning, every evening with prayer and reflection. So, what the reflection does is that gives you a heart of gratitude. It makes you excited, once you're able to focus on the positive, which is the most important part of reflection, not thinking about the negative parts because that's not going to help you, right? But focusing on the positive and the blessings that we have. Like I woke up with a place to stay last night, and I didn't have to sleep outdoors. It's freezing cold here. And just the blessing of being able to have all my 5 senses and just focusing on the positive things. But also, there's a part where we can focus on the positive things that happened last year. Although many of us wanted to hurry up and get that year over with, or it was the best year we ever had, whatever the case may be, there are ways that we can jumpstart this year by paying attention to those things and thanking God for the good things, and the challenging things, handing that to the Lord and saying, Father, help me with this. Or maybe there's a way that He can help you to not um, continue in the same negative pattern, if you will. Especially for women in midlife, we've found ourselves many times dealing with anxiety about, listen, I'm over 50, and I am nowhere near where I thought I would be by this time, if you're anything like me, right? But I do encourage you to ask God for wisdom. Ask God for wisdom, the good things that you learn from. Like, many of us don't look like what we've been through, right? But we learned a lesson. So I've heard it said before that you don't really lose, you either win or you learn, which is such a great statement. So the things that we have experienced before, even the challenges, have made us who we are today, good or bad, right? So I encourage you to pray. So that's the first thing, is start with prayer and reflection about what has happened before. And one great thing to do would be to get the scripture and the Bible verses and writing down. Just one of them can change your life if you focus on that. So you can put this one scripture in your car, on your mirror when you are brushing your teeth in the morning, um, next to your bed. Like it'll really get into your heart, and that thing that's going to change you and help guide you through at least this first quarter of the year to help keep you accountable and to keep you moving, right? So that's the first thing that I would do. Keep that visible, and in all those different places just kind of helps it get into your heart, right? So the second thing that I would do is to set grace filled goals. So what do I mean by that? That is where you would give yourself grace, right? To reach these goals, but set them anyhow, because those goals are going to help you to get to where you want to be. It's kind of like having a plan. You've heard before, maybe, if you don't have a plan, then you're planning to fail. And even the Bible talks about writing the vision and making it plain. And once you make it plain and you kind of have a way mapped out on how you're going to get there, you may not know exactly step by step, but at least you know you want to go in that direction. And that's going to help you to get there, right? So, and that also helps you to not be overwhelmed with the process of it all. So set those goals, but give yourself grace along the way. One action step there is to use a faith forward goal setting framework. That is prioritizing the small wins, giving yourself like a pat on the back and saying, hey, when you do something, hey, I actually reached that goal. That feels good. For me, lists are really good. And so daily lists, I work really well with those. You may be different, but this might help you. Writing down like goals for the day. So when I check off one thing, maybe it is, hey, I really want to wash and fold the clothes and put them away. So when I do that, I can check that off. And it's kind of little wins along the way that just kind of help to move the day along, if you will, right? So, yes, those are some things that I would do there. Number three is declutter your mind and your space. I learned many years ago from Terry Savelle Foy. I read her book about what most successful people do before 8 a.m. And she was talking about um, all different, it was such a great book. But one of the things that stuck out to me is how important it is to declutter your space. So it's brand new year. And I just started decluttering things around the house. We gave away a lot of items. I still have so much to give away. It's like you get a bigger purse and you want to fill it, right? Until you get a smaller purse. And then if it doesn't fit in that purse, that's one way I did it when I had a purse was hurting my shoulder. So what I would do is I would get a smaller purse. And if it doesn't fit in the purse, then why do I have it? So that helps. But the same way with your house. Like if you have a lot of clutter around or things that you're just holding on to, if you haven't used that in a couple of years, get rid of it. And a clean room does wonders, right? And even having your bed and putting clean sheets on the bed and cleaning up your bathroom, it's just something wonderful about walking into a clean bathroom. It's very special. And also a bed, making your bed or cleaning your space, getting things off of the counter so that the last thing you do before you go to bed is not looking at clutter. And then when you wake up in the morning, you don't look at clutter. Your dresser is clean and you just look around and it's a sense of and so I encourage you to do that. That will help a lot in this new year, especially kind of setting the tone for the rest of the year and the rest of the months of the year. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything here. Yes, anxiety comes from chaos. So who needs that? None of us need more anxiety, right? But if we can get rid of that anxiety just by cleaning up a few things, I know that will help. So, and one action step there is to spend 30 minutes decluttering one area. So if you can start with a desk at a one drawer of the desk at a time. Or if it's your dresser and you know you have a lot of clothes that you're not really using anymore, You can start with that top drawer and just work yourself down. Like that top drawer, get rid of it, reorganize it. And really, for me, once I get started, I'm going. But even if you have to take baby steps, just start with one thing at a time. Your nightstand. That was one great thing that I will do from time to time. Start with a nightstand. In your bathroom, it could be the counter. It could be if you share a counter space with your husband. It could be my side. That kind of thing, or what have you. Just start with something and give yourself 30 minutes. Set the timer. Get it done. So that's number 3, prioritizing that. And then step number 4 is prioritizing your health and wellness. Can we just sit there for a moment of silence? That's something that we take for granted, right? That we all were able to make it into this new year. We were blessed to be here. We are blessed to be able to be alive in 2025. I am not going to make that a slogan, although it definitely sounded like it, right? But to be here and to be alive in this brand new year is such a blessing. So staying thankful for that. But while we are thankful, let's prioritize making some shifts in our diet, in our exercise, in moving as often as we can that will help to change our life going forward for the rest of the year. So you can focus on prioritizing physical health and wellness, and that really we have no excuses when it comes to that. You can start with just a brisk walk. We all can do that, even if it's walking in place. I've seen people lose a lot of weight like that and really get their bodies ready for the next level of exercise. So starting with walking or some type of movement is important. Then, of course, there is nutrition. So we know basically right now, I like to say that most of the diets work. It's just the one that is going to fit for you that you're going to stick to that's going to work for you. So pick something that was going to help to make better decisions. Meal prepping and planning is so great. It changes our lives. Why? Because when we are hungry is when we make the bad decisions. So if you already have a meal planned, it really does help. It's a great sense of accomplishment as well to already have that meal made for the family, and it's work. It feels like so much work, but when you have that, and if you're like me, I cook a lot, so I cook at least once a day, sometimes two, and if I can keep myself from having to do that, I just feel like I've gained days of my life back. So that is something to do, to pay attention to your nutrition and just make better choices. Instead of this, choose that. And that's from what you drink and what you eat. And always, if you can push that window, sorry, you can push that window of time out a little bit further in between your meals. It really does help our bodies to recover. And it helps in so many different ways. So, nutrition, movement, and then sleep. Prioritizing your sleep is so important. It's not okay that you wake up in the middle of the night, many of us in midlife, and have experienced sleeplessness and breaks in our sleep. And so I have little nuggets and things that I'll share as we go through this process together. But one thing I would say is to just really try to prioritize your sleep. Do what you can to darken the room and, uh, you know, play good music on the way to bed, turning off all screens an hour before bed, and things like that that can really, lavender oil and, putting some on your hands and on your wrists and on your temples before you go to bed, and smelling that can really help to lull you into a sleep. And so prioritizing your sleep is important. That is a part of number 4, prioritizing your health and wellness. And number 5, find a midlife tribe. So that's so important. I'm gonna do a video on that really soon, because having friends at this time in life, I have never desired friendship more than I do right now. I am the youngest of 13 children. And 7 of those children my mom had. And so I lived around them more than the others that were born before my set of children were born. And I tell you, I used to always say that I don't need friends because I have my sisters. And I love my sisters. And that's how I grew up. I mean, I tell you, I'm going to share a picture you should see either right here, of my sisters and how important they are to me. Um, but how many of you know that it comes a time in life that you need to diversify? You need more people in your life and to be surrounded by those people that mean a lot to you. Although I really cherish, and there's nobody like sisters. There's something about sisters by choice as well, or those who are become family by choice, those who are just come out of nowhere and become just some of the most beautiful, thoughtful people. And so that has been my prayer, is to have more friendships in this time in my life. So guess what? I have started a group, and I am commissioned by God, and it's to not only help you through things like this, which are great, these 5 tips, but we need so much more, right? We need time together to discuss all the challenges and all the things that we are going through in this time in our life as we transition to our best selves, I like to say. And so I would just say try your best to, if you know, I'll share more about that in a moment. But if we're not close to each other in proximity, a lot of the things that I like to do are in person. But if not, if it's online or what have you, and as we discuss more of those opportunities later, I just feel like um, it's of grave importance for us to find a tribe, find, search out those who have special interests that we do. I like to skate. So I'm going to be reaching out to women and asking, hey, is there anyone in my area around my age who loves God, is married, and just wants to be around other great women as we have fun in life and enjoy God and are able to talk about the things that matter to us, right? And I believe that that's the way to do it. First of all, talking and letting people know I'm looking for friendship. And that's a great way to just spark up a conversation. Hey, let's go for coffee. You know, people talk about that all the time. How many times do we say, hey, let's get together? And they're like, yeah, let's get together. And we never do it, right? I've been guilty of that as well. So unless you put it down on the calendar, it doesn't happen. So let's try to do that more. But that was one of the things that I would say that really, really will change the way that we live. So surround yourself with a supportive and like minded community to share your journey. Isolation creates anxiety. If you're by yourself and alone, sitting alone with your thoughts, unless you have gathered your thoughts and renewed your mind and really, really set guard over your thoughts, you can lead yourself into depression like that. So I encourage you to find your tribe, find your people, and then be a good friend. In times like that, you know, be that friend that you want to see and you wish that someone was to you, right? So let's see. Connection fosters courage and inspiration. That's a great little nugget as well. So having someone next to you and that can do life with you, you know, locking arms with someone um, really can give you courage to go that next mile, to go that next step. I love women who are entrepreneurial and have minds to be great and to help others as well. Because I believe, you know, no one gets there by themselves anywhere, really, you know, and if you do, you're miserable. So I believe that there is a lot of people have said, you know, community has harmed them, but I believe also community is healing. So you just got to find the right ones. And like I had said before, the action step for this step is join or engage into a community. I want to offer you an opportunity to join my group, which is Queen's Keeper Community. We are a Facebook group, and we are about to really, really kick things off here in this new year. And I want you to know that you're welcome to be a part of that. And that is where we just encourage each other. We have great things coming along and spending time together and just creating a beautiful community, a healthy community. Because not all communities are good to be a part of. We know that, right? But mature women that are ready to be humble and serve each other and be a blessing to each other and lift each other up. That's important. So that's what a Queen's Keeper is all about. And I'll leave a link to that in the description. And also, I want to invite you, if if you are available and you're like me, where you have gotten to the all the way into January and still are looking to jumpstart your new year. So we have 10 days after tomorrow, is 10 more days left in January of 2025. I want to invite you to come along with me and be a part of a 10-day midlife jumpstart challenge. And so these are just really simple exercises that we are going to do every day, and it'll just help to, it kind of just feels good to know that somebody else is along the same path with you on that journey. So we're going to be doing this together. I'm going to give you some simple workouts that you can do from home. You don't need any equipment, but you can if you want. But these just require just your body weight, and a willingness and a desire to do it. So I'll be sharing more of that with you, and there'll be a link to that in the description as well. Anyways, that is it for now. I just wanted to give you those 5 things. And as a recap, let's go over them again. 5 powerful ways to overcome New Year anxiety and jumpstart your 2025. Number 1 is start with prayer and reflection. Number 2 is set grace-filled goals. Number 3 is declutter your mind and your space. Number 4 is prioritize your health and wellness. And number 5 is find your midlife tribe. It's nothing like other women going through the same thing that you're going through and able to help you along the way. God has given us community. The Bible actually says that God places the solitary in families. So let's be a family to each other. What do you say? Okay? So until next time, remember that midlife is just the intermission. God has got an encore that's going to blow your mind. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.